Hello everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Vault. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to see new Star Wars videos every week.
Alright everybody, I just watched the Rise of Skywalker last night for the first time, and as I promised before, I would give my review on the movie right away. Now I just want to warn everyone who is watching that, if you didn't read the title correctly, this review obviously does have spoilers, so you know what to do. Please do not watch this until either you've seen the film or at least if you're okay with hearing the spoilers. So today I'm going to do my best with keeping this not too long as I'm still processing this movie. I will be doing nothing but episode 9 topics for the near future as we have a lot to unpack. So as we know, this movie is a little under 2.5 hours long. We start off right away with Kylo Ren killing some of the Knights of Ren to obtain a Sith Wayfinder and immediately travels to the planet Exegol. Right away, he encounters Palpatine, who confirms that he created and puppeteered Snoke all along to create the First Order and turn Kylo to the dark side. So there you go, you have this, you have the Snoke story explained just like that, right? So honestly, this movie wastes no time at all. This happens in less than like the first 10 minutes. It definitely moves very fast throughout the whole film, so forgive when I forget a thing, forgive me when I forget a thing or two, because I've only seen this once so far. So Palpatine then mentions to Kylo that they need to find Rey and kill her. We then go to Rey, who is in training with, the help of General Leia Organa. We even see her struggling a little bit with the training droid, believe it or not. Finn and Poe then retrieve information about Kylo finding Palpatine from a First Order spy. Rey then finds clues to the Sith artifact from the Jedi text that Luke left behind. So Poe, Finn, Rey, Chewie, BB-8, and C-3PO all go to the planet Pisana to find a lead of the artifact that they're looking for. We then find Lando after all these years, and he embraces Chewbacca for a big hug, and to be honest, it's hard not to love this moment. He gives them the information that he has on where the artifact was last seen on the planet. Kylo heads to Pisana after having, force connections with Rey, similar to what we've seen in The Last Jedi. He brings his Knights of Ren, while the group finds a dagger in a buried down ship of a Sith assassin. The dagger has Sith inscriptions but can't be read by C-3PO's protocol. When Rey senses Kylo and goes to confront him, in which we get the scene from the trailer of her jumping over his TIE silencer and silencing it, it forces him to come out of it. Right after Chewie is captured by the First Order, Rey tries to force pull a ship that Chewie is presumed to be on. Then Kylo uses the Force in an effort to negate Rey's pull on the ship. You could see Rey get extremely frustrated because Kylo is at the very least matching her power, and out of nowhere she shoots a lightning bolt out of her hand and crashes the ship. She is devastated, as are the others, believing Chewbacca was killed on this ship. Soon after, they leave in the assassin ship to fly to Kijimi, where they are helped by an old friend of Poe's, Zori Bliss. Then through another Rey-Kylo Force connection, he tells her that he is indeed the granddaughter of Palpatine. And to be honest, I had that feeling as soon as I saw the lightning bolt from her, honestly. Once Rey looks at the dagger again, she sees a bunch of Force visions in which the Sith assassin whose ship that the group took actually killed Rey's parents under the orders of Palpatine. When the group steps aboard Kylo's Star Destroyer, Rey senses Chewbacca still being alive. This along with the Millennium Falcon also on the Star Destroyer. Finn and Poe go and rescue Chewbacca, but then are quickly captured again in order to be terminated. Then General Hux actually notices them and proceeds to free them, revealing that he was the First Order spy all along. The group escapes in the Millennium Falcon, with Hux then being shot dead immediately after General Pride for his treason. The Star Destroyer then shoots a laser cannon at Kijimi and blows the entire planet up. It's a pretty cool scene, I will say. The group ends up going to Endor, where the remains of the second Death Star lay in the ocean. Rey decides to go herself to the remains and finds the second Wayfinder. But then we see her encounter Dark Rey, which I would assume is a vision of her mind possibly playing tricks on her in some way. And then Kylo arrives and we see them proceed to have their lightsaber battle on the Death Star. And what's amazing to see is that, believe it or not, Kylo actually does overpower her and beats her, in my opinion. I mean, like, he really puts her on the ground like he was about to really just unleash. And then we actually see Leia, Kylo's mother of course, use the remaining living force in her to reach out to Ben across the galaxy. This clearly stops him in his tracks. He drops his lightsaber, in which an angered Rey then stabs him in his midsection with his blade. Rey then feels Leia passing on into the Force, immediately realizing the wrong that she had done. She then heals Kylo's wound and tells him that she did want to join him, referring back to The Last Jedi, but only as Ben, not Kylo Ren. She then heads off to Ahch-To to exile, kind of like what Luke did, and meanwhile, Kylo seems to have a Force vision or manifestation of some sort of Han Solo, his father, returning. Yes, I can't believe it. One of my rumor videos from months back actually came true, and to be honest, I did not see it coming. This encounter allows Kylo to turn back to Ben Solo, his true identity, as he throws his red saber into the water. Rey is then visited by the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker, who tells her that he was wrong to go into exile and that confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. He confirms that she is a descendant of Palpatine, and then he even tells her about him training Leia, in which we get a flashback of a younger Luke and Leia training with their lightsabers. It was a great throwback, really nostalgia feel. I really loved it. He then lifts his X-Wing out of the water, a callback, if you will, to Empire Strikes Back, and then he does give Rey Leia's lightsaber. She then heads to Exegol to confront Palpatine. She lets the Resistance know her location so that they then head to battle Palpatine's fleet. The Emperor then reveals to Rey that he wants to kill him so that, his spirit essence, I believe, will just transfer into her body and possess her, along with all the ancient Sith, before him. We then get the return of Ben Solo, who doesn't have his lightsaber, so Rey pretty much teleports, I guess you could say, Anakin's lightsaber to him, so he can kill the remaining Knights of Ren, to then meet up with Rey to take on Darth Sidious. And then, we see Darth Sidious come out, and he just toys with them, but by draining both of their Force essence, allowing him to rejuvenate somewhat and become more powerful. He then throws Ben Solo with the Force down a large fall in which we believe, him to be dead. I mean, I right away, I'm like, oh, yeah, he kind of, how does he come back from that, right? So, Rey is then defeated, she's laying on the ground until we start to hear the voices of past Jedi speaking to her and filling her up with their power. The main ones I do remember hearing are Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Yoda, Mace Windu, Ahsoka Tano, and of course, the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker. She then is empowered by all these Jedi to take on Sidious. She uses both lightsabers to deflect the Force lightning back into Palpatine. And to be honest, I think she kind of kills him off pretty quick, to be honest. And she then drops in exhaustion, dying from her efforts, and, really only, it seemed like she really only had life because of these past Jedi. It really seemed like they pulled her through this. Ben Solo then actually climbs back up, very shaky, you can tell he's very weakened, to find a dead Rey laying on the ground. He then uses the Force healing ability we saw from Rey earlier, and brings her back to life. They then embrace for a kiss and a hug, they're even smiling and laughing for a moment, but then immediately Ben drops back and dies, because he essentially sacrificed himself, giving his essence to her. He then vanishes, as his Uncle Luke did before him in the previous movie. And during all this, the increased fleet of the Resistance was able to use clever tactics in order to bring down the Star Destroyer fleets of the First Order. We then see the galaxy celebrate once again, and the final shot is of Rey going back to Tatooine, to the Lars home. She buries the two Skywalker lightsabers and reveals her own orange or yellowish lightsaber. I would lean more towards orange. That's what I saw, at least. But it does look really cool. We then see the spirits of Luke and Leia looking onto her as a scavenger walks by and asks her what her name is, and she replies, "I'm Rey Skywalker." So she clearly takes on that name, probably out of honor for the Skywalker family. So that is the movie, guys. My thoughts range in a lot of ways. All in all, I did enjoy this movie. There are a lot of things that I did like about it. I really enjoyed all the scenes with Lando. I'm pretty satisfied with Kylo / Ben Solo's arc. it was nice to see Rey really struggle for the first time in this trilogy, and really several times that she did. I know a lot will be upset with her, I guess, technically defeating Palpatine, but it all depends on how you look at it. I personally see it as the essence of all the legendary Jedi that we knew had to give all their power to her just for her to even stay alive, you know? And also, even though the Emperor showed some awesome powers and abilities, you have to remember that he is old as hell. I mean, like, what, 120 or something? And he didn't even have fingers. He was really, like, he was just decrepit. He's a shell of himself, really. It's not the Palpatine in his prime that we all know. And yes, I will admit there are a lot of flaws in this movie. There are a lot of things that I would have liked to see different or be changed, but overall, this is an enjoyable movie, at least for me. Is it an all-time great Star Wars film? I don't think so, but I do already see it as the best of the sequel trilogy, which is a good thing. I will say this movie came at me real fast. I definitely felt, it really just felt rushed and very compacted. And I figured it would be because of all the things they had to answer from The Last Jedi, but I'm telling you, it is not easy keeping up. I'm definitely going to have to see this movie a couple more times, at least, just to fully digest everything. But without a doubt, I will be making videos just about every day with topics revolving around The Rise of Skywalker, so make sure to stay tuned. But what do you guys think? Did you see the movie already? And if you did, what are your thoughts? What did you either love or didn't love in this film? Drop a comment below to let us know. Be sure to like this video if you did enjoy my review. It's a big help to the channel, so I do greatly appreciate it. You can follow my social media. The links are in the description below. Thank you to everyone for watching my review. It was fun to see this movie, and I can't wait to see it again soon. So have a great day, guys, and until next time, may the Force be with you.